Hello there. My name's KJ, and this is KJ's What Happened, where we look back on some of the stranger things in the past week. Hey, most importantly, thank you for being here. Usually we do this on Tuesday nights. I've had to bounce it around a little bit the last few weeks. Tonight, this is Thursday night, so thanks. I hope I didn't mess up your schedule too much. It should be back to Tuesdays again next week. And if you're listening to this after it's uploaded on my channel and you haven't had a chance to listen live, please do try to make it live. It's a different experience. We have a lot of fun. They have a lot of fun in the chat room. It gets a little crazy, goes a little fast, but it's nice to have you here also during the live shows. It's a whole community thing. And I don't really get to see the chat most of the time throughout the show. If I can, I'll glance here and there, but usually at the end, I'll come and talk to y'all for a little bit. I've been meaning to do another just hangout show as well, so I'm still planning on it, hopefully in the next few days or so. Just kind of a Q&A, I guess you could say, basically what Catching Up with KJ used to be, but just us hanging out and talking. It's been a little while since we've done that, and I'd really like to do that, so hopefully here in the next few days. I've got a really crazy video I'm about to drop. It's not very long, but the information is insane. And it's something, well, if you like my kind of videos and you like my kind of information, I don't want to give away too much because I'm excited about this one too. I just saw it last night. But it's from that TV show, The Masked Singer. I found something very, very interesting. And it's more than one thing. And it's all the confirmation I needed that it's definitely worth sharing with you. So I'll probably put that up tomorrow. Again, not going to be a real long video, but wait till I show you what I found. Hopefully you'll be as excited as I was. Anyway, I'm rambling, and I do that sometimes. Welcome to the show. Chubbs is sleeping right now, so hopefully he won't be too much of a brat tonight, but we'll see. And, let's just get started. Speaking of Chubbs, speaking of cats, mind-altering parasite spread by cats and carried by billions of people worldwide may lead to schizophrenia in humans. Ruh-roh, maybe that's what happened to me. Chubbs used to scratch me all the time. A couple years ago when I first got him, I'd get these red bumps around the scratches too. No kidding. I don't even know what it was. I'd get these weird little red bumps around the deep scratches. These little red bumps. Don't know what it meant. Not sure, but hopefully I'm not suffering from schizophrenia right now. I don't know. We'll see. You be the judge. You decide. A common parasite spread by cats is carried by 2 billion people, may lead to schizophrenia. Tigandi, which can spread to people through contact with cat litter trays and eating uncooked meat, is usually harmless. But now, the largest study of its kind has found having the parasite could raise the risk of developing schizophrenia by 50%. Unusual links between Tigandi and mind-altering behaviors such as risk-taking, depression, and car accidents already exists. Look at that cat, too. It's like the cutest cat. Look at that. Hi. I just gave you schizophrenia. You're welcome. Little stinker. Scientists at Copenhagen University analyzed data from more than 80,000 individuals in the Danish blood donor study, of which 2,591 people had registered psychiatric conditions. The researchers scoured traces of immunoglobulin antibodies for the presence of Tigandi. I want to say globly. Immunoglobulin. That does not roll off the tongue. Billions of people worldwide, nearly 1/3 of the population, according to the University of Chicago, are believed to have been infected by the parasite, including 60 million in the U.S. and 350,000 a year in the U.K. The parasite was detected in blood of 1/4 of the population studied by the team in Copenhagen. They also found that 61% of people carried CMV, which has also shown similar evidence of cognitive impairment. Patients infected with Tigandi were almost 50% more likely to have been diagnosed with schizophrenia than those without. The association was even stronger when accounting for temporality. patients who had not already been diagnosed with schizophrenia. According to the researchers, the corroborates that toxoplasm has a positive effect on the rate of schizophrenia. Okay. I think we get the gist. Look at that kitty. He's so cute. Hi. I just gave you schizophrenia. You're welcome. Little stinker. Have I already said welcome to the show? I think I did. But welcome to the show. We're 5 minutes in. Don't worry, it just keeps getting better. You'll see. Buckle up. This is great. This is some really wild footage. This is some really epic footage. This is some of that stuff that I'm sure plenty of memes will come from this. Tesla driver caught sleeping behind the wheel while driving on autopilot down Las Vegas highway. Have you guys seen this thing yet? Check this out. This is wild. It's just so interesting, man. I mean, it's like the very verge of just this crazy futuristic science fiction society. We're starting to see these elements. Here we go. All right, I'm going to make it a little bigger. It's only about a minute long. That dude's in his Tesla on autopilot. Watch this. I guess there's not really any audio, but there you go. That's a short clip. But that's this is where we're at in this world right now. You have cars where you can totally pass out in the front seat and it will drive you to your destination. I know. I mean, I've heard about these. I know they're out there. I just haven't ever seen footage like this before. This is crazy. You can get you a Tesla and just pass out and just let it drive you home, man. It's so wild. Anyway. The driver's hands aren't visible on the wheel, and his head can be tipped back on the headrest with his eyes closed. A video of the shocking driving was posted on Jalopnik motoring site. On Tesla's site, it says its vehicles have the hardware needed for full self-driving capability and offered an enhanced autopilot for $5,000. This extra allows the car to match speed to traffic conditions, keep within the lane, automatically change lanes without requiring driver input, transition from one freeway to another. I mean, this is crazy. And exit the freeway when your destination is near. I mean, man, every week I find stories, and you want to say the future is now. The future is now, but it really is. And it's, we've been prepared for this reality for a long time. There's been a lot of imprinting and predictive programming, right? A lot of social engineering. We're seeing all this stuff truly manifest. We're living in this crazy science fiction horror film right now. I think it's fascinating. It claims the system can even self-park when near a parking spot and be summoned to and from your garage. But with the full self-driving packing Tesla cars can literally drive themselves, and it'll only set you back an additional $3,000. Choosing the self-driving package doesn't guarantee safety, though. In 2016, a man from Ohio was killed when his Tesla hit a truck while in autopilot mode. The National Transportation Safety Board ruled that Tesla's lack of sufficient system controls was partially to blame. The company has since placed tighter restrictions on how long drivers are allowed to take their hands off the wheel, with beeps sounding after a while as a warning. If the beeps are ineffective, the car will automatically come to a stop and put its hazard lights on. But despite these safety measures, there have been more problems recently. Last month, a man was spotted sleeping in his Tesla car at 70 miles per hour by California Highway Patrol troopers. The officers had to pull in front of the car and start slowing down so that the car would eventually slow itself down. Sneaky drivers have also figured out how to play the system by tricking the wheel into thinking they're holding it using a water bottle or an orange wedge. Okay. Interesting, eh? Wow. The future is now. Wow, man, this one right here. Is this the one I'm thinking? Yes, it is. Wowzers. This one's pretty wild. I like the weird stuff. You know that. We know this. And most of you do too. That's why you're here. And that's okay. All right? That's okay. We can't be ashamed of liking the stranger things, stranger news in this world. This one's really wild, though. Check this out. Friends have spotted a creepy shock gaffe in the background of a season 4 classic where Rachel tries to pass her sexy lingerie as a new dress. The episode, which sees Rachel face an awkward encounter with boyfriend Joshua's parents, has a creepy moment when a pair of red eyes appear to glow in the background before disappearing mere seconds later. It comes as only the latest blooper to be spotted by diehard fans of the sitcom as it streamed on Netflix, after several fans also spotted Matt LeBlanc, or LeBlanc, I don't know, doesn't matter, mouthing along with Jennifer Aniston's lines in a clip posted to Twitter. But anyway, can you see that picture? Look at that, man. Let's see it right here. I don't know if there's any other images of it. There you go. Look at that. I need to go watch the episode. Anyway, there's the mask back there with the no red eyes. Okay. But then, the way, again, if you want, everything to me is spiritual. I mean, I see everything through my spiritual eyes, and I try to use my discernment on everything. And I see things like this, and just, look how she's dressed. This is like a sexy scene, right? And you get the lust or whatever. So it's interesting that perchance, we're literally seeing like the demon of lust showing up here, right? Or something like that. Anyway, pretty wild, eh? Take a look at that. That right there. Weird, huh? Here it is again. Wild stuff. Moving on. But I like that kind of weirdness. Man, these things right here. Wow. Just can't even imagine. What are people thinking? This one really shook me. I think there's a clip here. We'll watch it if there's a clip. This guy, this Grant Amato here, 29 years old. Now, again, I don't know him. I don't know what his life was really like. 29, though. Look at that. He looks like he's 40-something. I know. You're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but I'm just saying he looks really old for 29. But he kind of had everything, it seems. I saw pictures of his parents' home and all this. He still lived with his parents and comes from a really wealthy family, and they seemed to have everything they wanted, but I guess it wasn't enough. A Florida man killed his parents and brother after he was kicked out of his home and accused of stealing $210,000 from his family to send to a woman he had met on a porn website. Kicked out of his home and accused of stealing $210,000 from his family to send to a woman he had met on a porn website, according to a sheriff's office. That lust, man, right? Grant Amato, 29, has been charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of his parents, Chad and Margaret Ann Amato, and brother Cody. The sheriff's office found the victims' bodies Friday in their home after a co-worker reported that Cody Amato had not shown up for work. The Orlando Sentinel reports, according to an affidavit, Cody Amato's girlfriend told deputies Grant Amato had stolen $60,000 in guns from his brother. She said Grant Amato had recently been kicked out of a training program to become a nurse anesthetist. I don't know how to say that. Anesthetist. I think that's it. And stole the money to talk to a Bulgarian woman he had met online. She also said Cody Amato told her he was afraid Grant, quote, would kill everyone. Another brother, Jason Amato, told investigators Grant had stolen $150,000 from their father. In an interview with the investigators, Grant Amato said he had argued with his parents over his relationship with the woman he had met through an adult website, and that his parents told him he could have no contact with her if he wanted to continue living at their home. Amato said he began a 60-day internet and sex addiction treatment program in Fort Lauderdale in late December at his parents' request, but he left after a few weeks. Grant initially agreed to the rules his father had set, but he didn't think they were fair because he felt the Bulgarian female was his girlfriend, and they had a relationship. According to the affidavit, in response to seeing crime scene pictures of his parents and brother, Amato said his family had been blaming him for months for ruining their lives, so he might as well be blamed for this too. You're dealing with a monster here. People get mad at me. Okay, Jay, there's no sheeps and goats. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there are monsters among us. There are monsters among us. You should know this. You should know this. There are monsters among us. Monster. Now, I don't say that like in a pitchfork, let's kill the monster kind of way. I see this as we're all fallen, all of us humans. We're all in a fallen state, right? But it's when these people get ensnared by this system, by the beast system, because that devil's come to steal, kill, and destroy, right? We can't forget that. Like a roaring lion seeking who he may devour. So when I see things like this, I don't hate this person. Oh, I hate him. He's mean and evil. I have pity for these people. They've embraced that darkness. They've become that monster, right? And we've all danced with that monster. We've all done that stuff. We're human. We do stupid things sometimes. But it's when it really takes over, when people let that dark take over and they start acting out and doing really wicked stuff like this. You know what I mean? It's another one bites the dust. The enemy got another one, right? The enemy got another one. To cause chaos, more destruction, and death, and sadness. Oregon Democrats push new bill to outlaw self-defense. Protecting your family against violent crime is now a whole new crime. Again, see, speaking of the monsters, you got to be able to protect yourself from the monsters. This beast system, if you will, doesn't want you to be able to protect yourself against the monsters. It's interesting. Senator Rob Wagner and Representative Andrea Salinas, two Democrat politicians in Oregon, have proposed a new piece of legislation to be taken up in the next legislative session that, should it pass, would steamroll the Second Amendment rights of Oregonians and make it all but impossible for them to defend themselves and their families against violent threats. Senate Bill 501 would basically make it a crime for anyone living in Oregon to purchase a gun without first obtaining a government permit, also known as getting the government's permission. It would also prohibit the purchase and possession of magazines that hold more than 5 rounds of ammunition, subjecting violators to up to 1 year of prison and or thousands of dollars in fines. Further, SB 501 would prohibit every individual from purchasing more than 20 rounds of ammunition in a 30-day period. The penalty for having a magazine that accommodates more than the allotted 5-round maximum being not only 1 year in prison, but also a whopping $6,250 fine. As reported by Steve Pomper, SB 501 would not just apply to people wanting to buy guns, it would also apply to people who already own them, meaning nobody with existing firearms, magazines, and ammo stores would be grandfathered in. In other words, SB 501 would instantly criminalize thousands of law-abiding gun owners in Oregon, which would seem to be every gun-hating Democrat's dream. This is truly chilling in how much it reveals about the ignorance of anti-gun, anti-Second Amendment bullies, Pomper writes. They don't know the first thing about the thing they wish to ban. And they do not believe you have a right to self-defense. Wow, 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 wow. The provisions of SB 501 would appear to be arbitrarily burdensome, and perhaps that was the goal all along. But nitpicking every detail of gun ownership, Wagner and Salinas would seem to want to make it practically impossible to own guns, ammunition, and magazines without somehow being in violation of their proposed new law. But the Constitution couldn't be clearer about the fact that Americans' Second Amendment rights shall not be infringed. This means that no politician, law enforcement official, nor anyone else ever has the right to prohibit or in any way punish gun ownership, as SB 501 is attempting to do. Jeepers. I think it was Benjamin Franklin that said, "Womp, there it is." But really, all kidding aside, that's some pretty wild stuff. This is lawlessness. This is the spreading of lawlessness. I mean, that's why I've never really worried a whole lot about America. I mean, growing up, I never really worried about America being invaded or anything, because I know that, at least where I'm from, I mean, practically everybody's got guns, you know? I mean, who needs the American military when you've got the American civilians owning guns? It's like that's a whole other military branch, you know? If the fit ever hits the shan, or when the fit hits the shan, there's going to be that. And I think about those scenarios. Of course, I do. Look at what I bring you week to week, and actually in videos and shows and everything else. I mean, I watch for this stuff, and I always put myself in that scenario, like the Christians lost in the wilderness scenario. What if we're here while the Antichrist is ruling, and we don't want to take the mark, you're being hunted, and all these things. I think about these things. I have a very vivid imagination anyway. But realistically, if we're here for it, if you're here, if I'm here, if we're here for all of it, the FEMA camps inactivated and all that stuff, you're not going to be alone. There's going to be millions of us, thousands of them. You're not going to be alone. Plane passenger is meltdown because she sat between, quote, two fat pigs. I think there's a video on this one. A rude plane passenger had a meltdown because she had to sit between two big passengers. Big. The unidentified woman insulted two fellow United Airlines flyers she was sat between, later describing them as, quote, pigs. The outburst was captured on camera by one of the two passengers sitting next to the woman on the flight from Vegas to Jersey. "Oh my goodness. I don't know how I'm going to do this for the next 4 hours," the woman begins. "This is just impossible because they're squishing me. Like, just unbelievable." All right, where's this video? Let's see if there's a video here. What? I kind of want to see this video. You want to see the video? I kind of do too, but anyway. The woman goes on that she can't even sit back in the seat because Norma and the other passenger, Mac, are both so big. "At least they'll keep me warm," she scoffed. After being hurtled with several more foul-mouthed remarks, Norma, a nurse, eventually responds, saying, "BITCH, please," as the woman continues laughing. "Excuse me, can you find her another seat? Because I will not be verbally abused by this BITCH or anybody else," continues Norma. "I will not be verbally abused by anybody. I'm not tolerating it." As a flight attendant shepherds the woman away to find another seat, she remarks, "Thank goodness," before pointedly saying towards Norma and Mac that she, quote, "eats salads." Other passengers aboard the plane made their disgust towards the woman known as she walks towards the back of the aircraft. "What you're doing is so terrible," said one passenger. "You should be ashamed of yourself," said another. The woman angrily replies to another passenger, "Why don't you try and sit between those two pigs?" Oh, there she is. Wait, where's the clip? I think I just found the clip. Let's check it out real quick. And why not? We got time, right? You guys in a rush? You in a hurry? Let's hang out together. Jay, we never spend that much time together. I'm trying. I'm reaching out. But sometimes you make it so difficult. Okay, this might be the clip. Let's see here. Watch a little bit of it. There's still lots of stories to get to.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how I'm going to do this for the next 4 hours. It's just impossible because they're squishing me. Like freaking just unbelievable. Yeah, I flew with Miles. I don't have my choice. Oh my goodness. I don't know how I'm going to do this for the next 4 hours. It's just impossible because they're squishing me. Like freaking just unbelievable. Yeah, I flew with Miles. I don't have my choice. Where are you? Yeah, me too. I'm stuck. But at least they'll keep you warm. Bitch, please, okay? Where? You have a window. Find me a window. Get me out of here. I gotta put it back there. I can't do this.
All right, we get it, right? We get it. Whoa, 3 million views. It's a lot of views. Here we have it. Woman didn't want to sit between two people. It's not very clickbaity, but we get the gist. We understand. Maybe they will keep her warm. I haven't looked much at this one. I was just curious. Some of these we look at together because I just put these throughout the week because I'm going through news and working on videos and stuff. I'll just put stuff over into folders that seems interesting, and this is one of them. And I don't always get a chance to look at these before we do the show, which I think is kind of cool. We can kind of go in these together. Sometimes they're doo-doo. I admit this. This could be interesting, though. What it's like at the greatest spiritual gathering on earth. Borrows some very cool sunglasses. Baba Raharati is completely stark naked, smeared only in ash, symbolizing his commitment to the Hindu deity Shiva. This renunciate Naga Baba lives in a mendicant life of austerity in pursuit of self-realization. At least that's what he tells me between puffs of ganja. I meet him at the Kumbh Mela, currently underway, and there's a lot of words I can't pronounce, but I'm going to try. Prayagraj, formerly Allahabad in northern. Who cares where this took place? Okay, we understand. It wasn't in America, and it wasn't in England, and it wasn't in Australia. So who cares, right, guys? Am I right? Okay, I know. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. This is one of those where I don't think I get to read the whole story, which sucks. I just realized that. Who is this? It's the Telegraph does that. I'm going to have to stop using the Telegraph because this seems kind of interesting. I'd like to see more pictures and learn more about this greatest spiritual gathering on earth. Let's see if maybe we can find it somewhere else here. Greatest spiritual gathering on earth. Let's see. Daily Telegraph. Check this out. Kind of curious. What is the greatest spiritual gathering on earth? What is this? There we go. Well, there's really not much to it. That really sucks. Okay, so this one turned out to be doo-doo. Again, we try, guys. We try. Okay. I don't vet all these stories before I do my show. But there's really not much here. So I'm gonna look into this later on for myself. Maybe you can too if you're interested. It's like at the greatest spiritual gathering on earth. You would think there would be a lot more footage of this and stories and let's see. Okay. Here's the one from 2017. Yeah, the Kumbh Mela. I don't know. Okay, whatever. It's just a loose thread. I figured we'd follow that for a bit, but there's really nothing there. This story right here, I'd mentioned this in my latest video, but just speaks for itself, really. Netflix begs people to stop calling serial killer Ted Bundy hot. Reminds me of the Ramirez case. Was it David Ramirez? Richard Ramirez, that's it. He was like the satanic killer, had the pentagram on his palm. He would sneak into people's homes, and I believe it was in the valley out in Los Angeles, near LA. It's out in the valley, climbing into people's windows at night and killing them and raping people and stuff. And this guy was really scary. Real deal, like real deal. Straight up Satan worshiper. Completely evil dude. Looked evil. Just looked evil. You look at the guy, he looked evil. Richard Ramirez. And I'd seen a couple stories on this guy and like the massive amounts of love letters he would get, women showing up at the prison wanting to meet him. And this is just one story, and it's nothing new. Y'all have heard this before, and I get it, ladies. You like the bad boys, but can you stay away from these guys that decapitate people and eat their flesh and rape corpses and stuff? I mean, come on. I mean, there's a line, right? I understand a bad boy, right? Hey, maybe a bad boy wears his hat backwards, right? Hey, that's a little bad. That's okay. We like that, right? Maybe he wears his pants a little low, shows his underwear. Hey, it's a bad boy. It's a bad boy. That's okay. All right, I get it. But there's a line there. All right, let's not chase after these guys that rip other human beings into shreds and cook their flesh and eat them, and then rape what's left. Netflix begging people to stop calling serial killer Ted Bundy hot. There's a line there. Okay, the kid chews bubblegum when he's talking. It's a bad boy. I get it. That's a bad boy. It's all right. It's edgy. It's an edgy kid. But let's not, chase after cannibals and killers. Again, this stuff is just, I've been covering this for years. We've been ahead of the curve on this for years. And look how much it's just straight out in the open now. Even this Hail Satan film review, hero Satanists use the devil to separate church and state. Hero Satanists. It says, let's get a few things out of the way about the Satanic Temple, the religious activist group at the center of the excellent documentary, Hail Satan. Members of the Satanic Temple say they don't actually worship Satan or even believe in him. Garbage. As far as now, I get there's the atheistic side of that, but those are even the bigger dupes because they're completely manifesting satanic ideals. They're worshiping the devil without even realizing it. And then some of them just use this as a cover. Oh, I'm an atheist. I've talked about that in a lot of videos as well. I definitely believe that. A lot of these Hollywood, quote, atheists are really Satanists. Says they want nothing to do with the murders and child abuse attributed to Satanism during the satanic panic of the 1980s. I don't even like reading much press on these people because it's all lies. I mean, they're just liars. They're liars. That's what they do. Anyway, getting praise, right? Not surprised, but getting praise from the world. Heroes, Satanists. Anyway, Hail Satan, I guess, is their new documentary. The film is about inclusion and plurality. Yes, they make fun of Christian symbols to get attention, but at least for the people profiled in the film, it seems without malice. They say what they really want is to start a conversation. I don't know. This is always interesting to me when you find these groups that are protected by what we call the left, opposed to one another. There's another thing that's been happening between the lesbian community and the transgender community. Apparently, a lot of the lesbians are mad at transgender, men who are turning into women or trying to turn into women, because those people apparently are trying to convince lesbian women that they need to transition over to men. It's a whole weird thing. Right? It's a whole weird thing. Reprobate problems, I call it. But they're at odds with each other, and now you have this. Muslim moms protest outside school for promoting homosexuality to their kids. So whose side is this wicked system going to take on this one, I wonder? A group of angry moms have launched a protest and petition against their school for introducing a curriculum supporting homosexuality. Andrew Moffat, assistant head teacher at Parkland Community School, has been criticized by parents for piloting No Outsiders, a program run alongside sex and relationship education lessons. Its ethos promotes LGBT equality and challenges homophobia in primary schools. Books now being read by pupils at Parkfield Community School include Mommy, Mama and Me, and King and King. Stories about same-sex relationships and marriages. This stuff is so tiring. So tiring. Every week, there's more of these stories on this same subject. But Mr. Moffat and the No Outsiders program have come under fire for some Muslim parents who condemn such teachings as homosexuality is strictly forbidden in Islam. Mr. Moffat, who's openly gay, and the school have defended the program, which they said had been fully explained to parents. They added, No Outsiders allows us to raise awareness of these differences so that children are able to tolerate and accept differences in our society. But outraged mom, who's taken her 10-year-old daughter out of the school, says it's inappropriate and totally wrong. Children being told it's okay to be gay, yet 98% of the children at school are Muslim. It's a Muslim community. I've taken my daughter out, and other parents have too. Enough is enough. See, are Christian parents doing this? I never hear about it if they are, but they need to be, right? Why not? Why aren't they standing up more? Some are. Some are. It's got to be a tough situation. I can only imagine. Again, I don't have kids. If I did, I would do anything and everything I could to keep them out of those public indoctrination centers. Ugh. You know what I mean? Big League Chew. I used to love this stuff when I was a kid. Big League Chew. It's bubblegum. Just more of this, man. It's more of this divisiveness, more of this division. Does this really matter? Do we really need this? Is this Big League Chew now featuring woman on bubblegum packaging? Are there any women out there that actually care about stuff like that? For real, I wonder. Are there women out there that are just calling each other right now, texting, sending Facebook messages? Like, have you heard about Big League Chew? It's about time, right, girlfriend? But this is what it is. There was a quote, and I'm going to put this in a video pretty soon, from 1984, talking about how they changed everything so that there's only one way anyone could think. It was talking about how they changed history and they changed everything, been flip-flopped. And you see this as well. They're even doing this thing where they're replacing, and it's fine, okay? It's not like I care. I'm just saying, I've noticed this. They're replacing they're remaking a lot of old movies and stuff like this and TV shows, but instead of, white people that were in there originally, they're putting black people in there now, or Hispanics, as if that's some big, win for the black and Hispanic communities. I don't know, but they did it with like Annie and Karate Kid. I mean, they've just done a bunch of this stuff. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen this. I feel like it's more kind of divisive stuff. Like they do these dumb little things that mean nothing. Or maybe they really think maybe this does matter to people. Maybe I'm all on my own here. Maybe I'm on the island. I don't know. You see what I mean? Like everything's been flip-flopped and changed, and they're tearing down the statues, and they're trying to hide our history and get dumb stuff like this is some kind of a win. The popular bubblegum company Big League Chew has added a softball-inspired character to front of their packaging. The company says a female softball player is now featured on its top-selling flavor Out of Here Original. I don't know. Maybe it does matter. Maybe this is a thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just the dumb old guy, Warning, this video contains footage that some may find distressing. Count me in, please. All right. Okay, let's see. This is the man clings to hood of SUV during mass Pike road rage incident. Check this out. Can never get enough of these road rage incident videos. Check this out.
This is crazy. What is he doing?
Dude, you stopped the car.
Oh my God. This is crazy. What is he doing?
Dude, you stopped the car. You stopped the car. I'm gonna kill you now. If you don't stop the car. Stop. Stop the car. Get out. Get out of the car. I'm not sure you gotta get out. Right now, buddy. You bumped into me. You bumped into me. You weren't even here. You bumped into me. Right. You bumped into me. I bumped into you. You would have pulled me over. I pulled over. This is a busy road. You bumped into me.
What, so you're going to try to kill him? You're
No,
going to try to kill
I
him for
tried to
bumping
pull
into
over.
you? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. You were speeding with him on the hood of your car.
Like this. Holding onto my hood. With my water. With my water. Smashed my window. Was holding.
All right, I think that's pretty much it. Can't really hear what he's saying. But there you go. I mean, the best part of the footage is only like 4 seconds long. I was kind of hoping I'd see more of that guy dangling on the hood of someone's car on the highway. But that's okay. There it is.
Stop the car. Stop.
All right, there you go. You ever witnessed a road rage incident yourself, like in real life? Not long ago, I had somebody I think trying to start something up with me on the road, and I didn't even know what was going on. I was probably going too slow for them or something. I don't know, but someone pulled up next to me in the other lane. They were honking, and they looked like they were shaking their fist at me and stuff. And I don't know what it was, but I just tried to ignore it, just keep on driving, eyes forward. I just calmly reached over and grabbed my 9mm and held it up right in front of the window just for a second. And then it's weird. I noticed him kind of drive real fast away. And then I rolled the window down and I pointed my 9mm towards his car as he was driving, and I noticed him drive even faster away. Russian scientists claim woman discovered in a perfect marble casket is 800 million years old. I love when they do this. Now, a lot of you may disagree with me. Maybe you won't. I don't believe we've been around 800 million years. If anything, I'm closer to like what Kent Hovind says about how long we've been around, like the history of the world and all that. But 800 million years, it's just always a new random number. 50 million, 10 million, 85 million, 500 million. So I don't know what this is when they put these kind of stories out. 800 million years old. Sure. We've been around 800 million years. Okay. Got it. I don't believe it, but I got it. Bear kept him safe, says boy 3 lost in North Carolina woods. This one's really interesting, and I'm watching this one closely, but I don't know if we're going to get any more follow-up from the little boy. But apparently a lot of Bigfoot community have latched onto this story. Like this has become a real thing. I'll show you some of that in a second. Let's read just some of this here. Whether it's the fancy of a child's imagination or something that actually happened, the story of a North Carolina toddler who was lost in the woods for several days in frigid temperatures and heavy rain is a twist that's perfect for a children's story. The 3-year-old told his rescuers that he had been taken care of by a bear. Casey Lynne Hathaway was found entangled in briars but alive on Thursday night after a massive search by the FBI Marines based at Camp Lejeune in East North Carolina, state and county law enforcement agencies, and more than 600 volunteers. He was found after authorities received a tip of a crying child. He was crying for his mother when the search party found him, according to reports. Casey had disappeared from his grandmother's backyard in North Carolina on the afternoon of January 21st. Casey's aunt, Brianna Hathaway, said in a now-deleted Facebook post that her nephew said he, quote, hung out with a bear. God sent him a friend to keep him safe, Hathaway reportedly wrote, according to a Fox News report. God is good. Miracles do happen. Craven County Sheriff Chip Hughes backed up the bear story, telling television station WCTI that while Casey didn't say exactly how he was able to survive, he did say he had a friend in the woods that was a bear that was with him. It was Casey's cry in the woods that summoned rescuers, but by the time the boy had been pulled to safety, I don't think I was around anybody that was crying, the EMS captain told the station. Grier said the boy was trapped in a briar thicket where he endured freezing temperatures, heavy rain, and gusting winds. He suffered only minor scrapes and cuts. You could tell he was very cold, so we immediately started warming him up once we got him into the vehicle. The more we warmed him up, it seemed the better he got. The support we had from all these agencies, okay, blah, blah, blah. But was it a bear? Because, aren't bears hibernating? Right? Frigid temperatures. It's wintertime. Aren't the bears hibernating? So there's a lot of people. Child was kept safe by Bigfoot. Okay, we got it. Here's one. Did that bear really keep that boy company, or was it Bigfoot? I think Sasquatch is probably the other one here. I need to use Sasquatch. Okay, well, Bing sucks. And I don't know why this computer makes me stay on Bing all the time. But earlier, I had seen a lot of these stories about people questioning if it was actually a Sasquatch. There we go. Children spot Bigfoot-like creature in North Carolina. Oh, that's something else. Anyway, you can look it up. Like I said, for whatever reason, I guess I can't find all the stories I had earlier about this. I say earlier, it was when I first saw the story a few days ago, but I had noticed there were a lot of people questioning if this was really a bear that kept the child safe. He's only 3, so of course he's going to call it a bear. A child doesn't know what a Sasquatch is or a Bigfoot. So it does make you wonder, did a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot keep this child safe, this 3-year-old, for a few days, lost in the woods during frigid weather, crazy storms? It's interesting. Something to think about. Again, I could be wrong, but I mean, bears are hibernating, right? That's not just in the cartoons. Bears are actually hibernating now. It's like wintertime. Now we have this, man. Nearly 1 in 50 U.S. teen students see themselves as transgender. So more of this. Isn't that crazy? Nearly 1 in 50 U.S. high school students consider themselves transgender, and more than a third of those say they attempted suicide in the previous year. Those transgender students are the frequent victims of violence and bullying, threatened at school and on their way to and from home. The report is the first released by the government health agency delving into transgender-related questions among a large group of students, experts said. And even stories like this, is it true, or is it something they fabricated and put out there because they want it to eventually be true? They want to put this out there in your minds. I don't know. I don't know for sure which one it is. But there was a story a while back that there's a lot of young girls in the UK that think they're transgender. Was it UK girls claim to be transgender? Okay. Try this. Here we go. This says it's in Britain. Why are so many teenage girls appearing in gender clinics? Jeanette Miller wasn't exactly surprised when her daughter came out as transgender 5 years ago. A feminist who rarely wears makeup or dresses, she brought Rachel up to disregard gender stereotypes. Thanks, Mom. Thanks. As a child, Rachel enjoyed rough and tumble play. As a teenager, she dated a girl. What shocked Miss Miller was her daughter's declaration that she wished to make her body more masculine by taking testosterone and having a mastectomy. She had never once said, "I feel like a boy," says Miss Miller. She loved being whatever. Another one bites the dust. Anyway, we'll move on. Just moving on. Thanks for allowing me to run down some of these little rabbit holes from time to time and try to find these other things. Because we're not in a hurry, right? You're not in a hurry. I'm not in a hurry. We've only been doing this for about an hour. It's one of those where the title pretty much speaks for itself. Homeowner uses AK-47 to shoot 5 intruders, killing 3. A 20-year-old homeowner reportedly shot with an AK-47. The system is all about outlawing these, right? Hates these AKs. But look at the damage it can do, right? To the bad guys. Homeowner uses AK-47 to shoot 5 intruders, killing 3. That's all. That's all. That's all I wanted to share on that. There we go. Come on. There we go. The earth is crumbling down. Gigantic sinkhole terrifies villagers as it swallows a house and animals in Chile. Meanwhile, another huge crater forces evacuations in Los Angeles. Residents of Chile were left terrified after a giant 11 meters in diameter and 17 meters deep sinkhole opened up following the M6.7 earthquake last weekend. The gigantic crater swallowed up a house and 9 farm animals. In the meantime, a sinkhole estimated at about 80 feet long opened up between 2 condominium complexes in La Habra, Los Angeles, California, forcing evacuations. Check this out.
Horrifying scene in Orange County today. Some people were sleeping when the ground suddenly caved in. A massive sinkhole just opened up right outside people's homes in a condo complex.
Unbelievable. It happened on Imperial Highway at
and CBS 2 Orange County reporter Michelle Gili is there live. Michelle, what's being done to address the problem?
Well, a lot is being done, Pat. This gaping hole behind me is 80 feet long and about 20 feet deep. And the first thing that needs to be done here is to remove the pine trees that you see behind me in the green belt that were leaning sideways when this sinkhole appeared last night. Down, some resting on balconies and roofs of condominiums here at the Coyote Creek complex.
Come on.
Now there's a cement flood control channel deep underground. It has failed. The mayor of La Habra says recent heavy rains may have something to do with this. 3 condos were evacuated. It was voluntary for the people who live here. They say it sounded like a truck hit the building or like an earthquake when the land gave way.
Like I said, this seems to be an isolated incident right now. There's no other indication that this is going to happen anywhere else in the city like that. And really, this is not something that's very common for La Habra or Southern California. We don't see a whole lot of this that occurs in here. Like I said, in over 55 years I've lived here, I don't recall ever having this happen in our community.
And my significant other, she said she saw lights, a lot of lights with the sound. So she thought it was lightning striking or something.
That's interesting, huh? I think she saw a lot of lights with the sound. What do you think that could be?
It was lightning or something. I looked out the window, I saw the big sinkhole.
Now it's unclear at this hour who.
Thing's running janky. Sorry, man. This particular clip from this, wherever this is YouTube.
A lot of
it's running
lights
janky.
with the sound.
In here, like I said, in over 55 years I've lived here, I don't recall ever having this happen in our community.
And my significant other, she said she saw lights, a lot of lights with the sound. So she thought it was lightning striking or something. And then when I looked out the window, I saw the big sinkhole.
Now it's unclear at this hour who is responsible, who actually owns this flood control channel that I said is about 20 feet down underground from where I am standing. Is it the HOA? Is it the city?
So a lot of, the lights thing too. It may not be connected, but there's a lot going on. We've seen this here on the show the last few weeks. Those crazy lights in New York City, had a lot of crazy lights in Louisiana at the same time. They were both areas were blaming transformers for this. And that's just a bit of the weirdness. There's a lot going on with this. There's a third place where the transformers are saying we're blowing here in America. I need to go back and look at all this stuff and connect it. I'm kind of waiting for more footage to put something together for what happened in New York, because I'm still very curious about what that really was in New York City. You remember that? It's a few weeks ago. The massive blue light over the city, and they're saying it was Transformers. Like I said, around the same time, same thing happened in Louisiana. They were blaming Transformers for it. So there's a video I did way back when I first started doing videos on YouTube, and it took place in Texas, I think either Fort Worth or Austin. And same thing, there were all these Transformers were blowing. But at the same time, though, there were all these orbs up in the sky above it. So there had to be some kind of a connection there. You know, there were lights up there in the sky, obviously orbs. You know, we see these orbs in the different formations they form, and we've seen them time and time again. But there's definitely UFOs up there, orbs, while all these Transformers were blowing. That was in Texas. And that had to have been, I mean, like 8 years ago, 9 years ago or something. So anyway, I'm rambling. Forgive me. Moving on. Sinkhole. Okay, got it. Sinkhole's happening. There's a good sky view. That perfectly between. What if that was just 50 feet over to the right or to the left, right? That would have totally leveled. People just chilling in their apartments would be falling down inside that hole. There's another one there. There we go. Some may say that the pits are opening. Slowly, but they're opening. It's a metaphor, maybe. A metaphor for the pits opening. More of the Hosea prophecy. Numerous birds drop dead like flies in coastal Papakura and Takanini, New Zealand. I like saying Takanini. On Saturday, a number of people posted to Takanini, what a fun word, and Papakura community Facebook pages to say they also had dead birds on their properties. Okay. About 40 pigeons and sparrows have mysteriously been found dead, as well as some of the family's chickens. They were said to be dropping like flies across the Papakura and, everybody, Takanini region on Friday and Saturday concerning residents. Hosea prophecy stuff, you know, it's been going on hardcore, and bodies of water turning blood red as well. Both of those anomalies have been happening for like 8 to 10 years that I know of, but it's all been increasing. This is pretty wild here. Gators and ice. 18 American alligators freeze in place, poking their noses through the ice to survive the Arctic blast out in North Carolina. Look at that. Alligators in one eastern North Carolina swamp have proven it was no fluke last winter when they survived a cold snap by freezing themselves in place with their noses above the ice. Wow. The same weird phenomenon happened again Monday at the swamp park, only this time more and bigger alligators joined in, says park manager George Howard, who posted a video. Let's see his video. Make it bigger for you. Turn on some sound. Let's check this out.
Mark, here in Ocean Isle, North Carolina, are you ready for the cold? Be prepared, thinking ahead. All of our alligators and ice here. 18 American alligators are thinking ahead as they poke their noses up through the ice here in January 2019. Come check us out, folks, here at the Swamp Park in Ocean Isle, North Carolina. Happy January to you, everyone. Everybody stay warm. Make sure you're being safe out there. Thanks so much.
Wow, just look at that. It's wild. Whoa. Freaking global warming. Wild. It's wild images. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. It's the latest assault. The last 3 years or so, that's what's been happening on YouTube. It's like in January or February, there's all this bad news. First, it was Adpocalypse, then it was YouTube Heroes program and all that stuff. And they were going to be inviting in fact checkers and all that. That was like last year. Now YouTube is going to bury, quote, borderline content, but it won't tell us what that means. A few of my friends and I, other YouTubers I know, we've talked about this a little bit. I know some people are a bit concerned about all this. Seriously, and I'm not kidding when I say this, and I always say this, but this is why I believe in praying for my channel constantly. I always pray for my channel, and I'm grateful to have it. You know, I'm like, Lord, thank you for the fact I still have a channel. Please protect it, because you'll worry yourself to death. You know, there's only so much you can do to prevent this stuff yourself. Like I said, they did the YouTube Heroes program. It was ridiculous. It was like giving the keys to the kingdom to any troll that wanted it, right? And it's almost like YouTube favors the trolls sometimes, right? Like they're destroying themselves. They're finding new and interesting ways to destroy the entire format, right? To take people out. So yeah, my thing is, you know, you got to be wise as the serpent, you know, with this kind of stuff. You really do. And you got to be careful how you do things and what you say and et cetera, you know. But you also want to make sure you're getting your message out. That's the most important. But, you know, you got to play their game a little bit. That's just the way it is. That's where we're at with this stuff. But you can't worry about it. You'll worry yourself to death. If you don't believe in God, I don't know what to tell you, you know, but I do. I do my best to follow the ways of Christ. I say I do my best. Not always, but I try. And actually, I think I do pretty good. I've done pretty good throughout my life. It's a work in progress. We all are, right? But anyway, YouTube is going to bury borderline content. Last week in a company blog post, YouTube informed its approximately 2 billion users that it would begin to change how recommendations function, reducing instances of content that, quote, comes close to but doesn't quite cross the line of violating our community guidelines. And again, it's so lame. You know, there's people, like I said, so many of us have been able to stay in the game, you know, and to still get our work out there, which is the most important thing, you know, that people get to see what we're doing. And now this is just another way that looks like they're trying to find you another attempt, you know, to dig more and to find anybody that's, it's just crazy, man, but doesn't quite cross the line of violating our community guidelines. Comes close to. What defines borderline content? Who does the defining? That's what things get hazy. It's laudable to attempt transparency with a user base the size of YouTube's. The recommendation algorithm is a black box anyhow, and theoretically the platform could have been overhauled. It could have been overhauled. Okay, bad grammar. Without writing prior notice. Content that's nearly over the line but technically kosher has been shown on Facebook anyway to be reported with more engagement. Unbug in the system, it'd be a bug in the system that plenty of users are happy to exploit. Okay. YouTube plans to use machine learning systems to identify borderline content, which will be trained by human evaluators and experts from all over the United States. Oh, great. Asked repeatedly who these evaluators or experts are and what organizations they're associated with, YouTube spokesperson would only tell Gizmodo, "We use everyday people across the U.S. as evaluators to provide input on what types of content are credible, as well as to help identify content that might be borderline under our policies. The human evaluators are external." Those of you that followed my work for a while know that one of my earlier, has it been a year? I guess about a year ago, right around the time I first started doing these shows, KG's What Happened, I showed y'all an interview somebody on YouTube had got with one of these YouTube heroes. And it was a girl, and she explained the whole process. Or no, she was a worse. What do they call them? She was a like trusted flagger. That's it, a YouTube trusted flagger. Okay, so kind of a YouTube hero type thing. Anyway, and it was terrifying. The night I showed you the video, I said, this is one of the scariest videos I can show you, especially if you're a YouTube creator like myself, because the girl was brain dead. She was brain dead. A dum-dum. Like literally curling her hair with a finger, like,
it's like, yeah, like there's a lot of power, but it's like, you know, like, I mean, like, we're like careful and stuff. I mean, like, you know.
I mean, when I first saw the interview with this broad, it was a bad night, man. It was a bad night. That's some scary footage.
Like, yeah, I totally have the power to like destroy YouTube channels. But, you know, I'm careful about it. Like, you know, it's like a big responsibility.
Like I was almost crying that night when I saw that. I'm like, these are the people? These are the ones that check our videos and channels? Oh my goodness. We're all doomed. But we're not. We're not. You can't think like that. Like I said, you got to play their game, stay within lines. You got to be careful how you label things and what you say as far as like the tags and stuff goes. You'd have to be careful about stuff like that. You know what I mean? Some words you just simply can't use anymore on this platform. It's just the way it is. But thank God we've got some of these dimwits out here. She had like purple hair. No offense to that. It's fine. It can be a cute thing with some of the ladies, but she was just like young and dumb. She was like 20, 21 years old, like tattoos all over her. She's like a, hipster kid, I guess. All kinds of piercings and stuff, purple hair, twisting her hair in her fingers like,
Yeah. No, yeah, like I could totally destroy your life. But it's okay. Yeah.
like I was almost crying that night. Videos promoting a phony miracle cure. Oh, here we go. Check this out. Here we go. If any one entity would determine categorizations for YouTube content, your first guess might be YouTube itself, but that does not seem to be the case. That's concerning. Duh. YouTube's blog post does note that the evaluators are, quote, trained using public guidelines, specifically the 160-page Google Search Quality Evaluator Guidelines, which does supply definitions for pages that potentially misinform users and pages that potentially deceive users. Though it's unclear how much of that guide is applicable to YouTube, a company spokesperson refused to explain that on the record. Videos promoting a phony miracle cure for a serious illness, claiming the earth is flat, claiming the earth is flat, or making blatantly false claims about historic events like 9/11, are given as examples of what will see reduced circulation through recommendations. However, you'd be right to worry that borderline content and content that could misinform users in harmful ways is an extremely broad and poorly defined mandate. Yeah, it absolutely is. So there you have it, flat earthers. Now what? Huh? They're coming for you. They're gonna come get you. Gonna come get you. There you go. So there you have it, man. It's the new assault from YouTube on its own platform. We shall see how this all plays out.
Like, that video is like offensive. Like, oh my God. Like, okay. You've been around for 10 years. Quick, bye.
Man says emotional support alligator helps his depression. This is crazy. Look at this. A Pennsylvania man says his emotional support alligator helps him deal with his depression. Joey Henney, 65, said his registered emotional support animal named Wally likes to snuggle and give hugs, despite being a 5-foot-long alligator. The York Haven man said he received approval from his doctor to use Wally as his emotional support animal after not wanting to go on medication for depression. I had Wally, and when I came home and was around him, it was all okay, he said. My doctor knew about Wally and figured it worked, so why not? Wally was rescued from outside Orlando at 14 months old and is still growing. Henny said Wally could be 16 feet long one day. Henny says Wally eats chicken wings and shares an indoor plastic pond with a smaller rescue alligator named Scrappy. Wally, who turns 4 this year, is a big teddy bear, in Henny's words. The cold-blooded reptile likes to rest his snout on Henny's, and he likes to give hugs. The alligator has never bitten anyone and is even afraid of cats, according to Henny. Henny acknowledged that Wally is still a dangerous wild animal and could probably tear his arm off, but says he's never been afraid of him. Henny's background also includes or indicates a comfort with creatures like Wally. He hosted a show called Joey Henny's Outdoors on ESPN Outdoors. He frequently takes Wally out for meet and greets at places like senior centers and minor league baseball games. He's just like a dog, Henny told a woman at a recent outing. He wants to be loved and petted. Aw, Wally. So cute. Not. Information wars endanger civilization, say doomsday experts. This is one of those I read this week. Information warfare is amplifying major worldwide threats like climate change and nuclear warfare, endangering the future of civilization. U.S. experts said Thursday as the symbolic doomsday clock stayed at 2 minutes to midnight. The manipulation of facts, fake news, and information overload, along with global warming and flirting with nuclear war, are all factors that have brought humans as close to destroying the planet as ever, said the nonprofit Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists. Humanity now faces two simultaneous existential threats, either of which would cause for extreme concern and immediate attention. These major threats, nuclear weapons and climate change. Climate change! We know that's bogus. You know that's bogus, right? That's Agenda 2030 stuff. Remember Al Gore and his huge climate change fail? Nuclear weapons and climate change were exacerbated this past year by the increased use of information warfare to undermine democracy around the world, amplifying risk for these and other threats and putting the future of civilization in extraordinary danger. The clock did not budge from last year, but that should not be taken as a sign of stability, said Rachel Bronson, president and CEO of the group of scholars and international experts in security, nuclear, environmental, and science fields. All right. There you go. This one's really weird. Check this out. Stupid. This is under the stupid kids category. Not all kids are stupid, but some of them are. And I was a stupid kid sometimes. I think as kids, we do stupid things. As adults, I do stupid things. We all do, from time to time. Growing up, that's part of the process. You try to limit the amount of stupid things you do. A 15-year-old student apparently tripping on LSD groped the breasts of 3 school staffers and tried to strangle a nurse with her stethoscope while yelling, "I'm an Avenger," according to police who charged the juvenile with an assortment of crimes, including assault and gross sexual imposition. The Teenagers Meltdown, cops say, occurred last Wednesday morning at Liberty High School in Liberty Township. The student first grabbed a female teacher's boobies, roughly in a painful manner, quote unquote, prompting her to scream for help while telling the boy, "Do not touch me." The teen then fled the building, but was brought back inside by a school resource officer. After mumbling about, quote, "big tits" and making incoherent comments, the student then pushed a school secretary against a wall and grabbed her boobies and her buttocks. "Come here, bitch," the boy announced before pawing the woman. As the resource officer struggled to handcuff the student, he lunged at the school's principal and aggressively groped her boobies. The student was eventually placed into the rear of a police cruiser where he licked the vehicle's windows and kicked through a partition window. The student, who told paramedics that he had taken LSD, later claimed that the hallucinogenic was provided to him by his dog. And then he licked the dog's boobies. While being examined at a Youngstown hospital, the teen began yelling, "I'm an Avenger," and allegedly tried to strangle a female nurse with a stethoscope. Earlier, he had yelled "big DICK" and "big TITS" at police officers. The student was subsequently transported to the local juvenile justice center, where he was detained on assault, vandalism, resisting arrest, and gross sexual imposition charges. The teen's vaping device was seized by cops and sent to a police lab to be tested for any possible narcotics. This guy was all about them boobies. And butts. This one, man, is... I don't know if I want to show you everything on this. This is really, really graphic, okay? So I'm going to, we'll play some of this, but I don't want to show you all the stuff that happens afterwards. It's really gross. Like, this is really graphic stuff. And I couldn't remember, because this story has been out for a few weeks. I couldn't remember if I've shown y'all this already or not. But anyway, it's back in the news this week. So But check this out. We'll watch some of this together. I don't even think there's any audio. Turn the music down. What you're watching is a transgender with an axe. Enters a 7-Eleven carrying an axe. So that's a dude. It's a dude that's trying to like be a girl. And he just passed that customer in the aisle. Now he's still got the axe. No one's doing anything about this, right? It's so weird. He approaches the guy. Okay. Now let's be careful here. Hopefully they cut this away. She stands very close to him chatting. That's the dude. It's trying to look like a chick. And then swings at his face. Okay, maybe they'll cut this out. I don't really want to. Hey, okay, there we go. It's getting. There we go. There we go. Let's go a little past. There we go. So it hit him in the face with the axe, and then it like hit this other guy or something, or scared the other guy. He fell down. You can see the blood though. Look at that. Look at all the blood. I mean, I'm not, I don't want to show you everything. Okay. You can go look at the original real video of this if you want to see the axe hitting the dude in the face. He survived. Okay. We're going to read some more of the story, but it's super bloody and super crazy. And this is totally something out of a horror movie. That's really scary crap. And then, like, let's see here. The trans thing person kept walking. Yeah, so there you go. So, okay. So there you go. So let's find out what happened afterwards, after this attack. Okay. All right. She has been jailed for 4.5 years with her lawyer blaming the sex change operation. Okay. Her legal team claimed the operation had left her in immense pain and fueled her desire to kill strangers. Ben, the guy that got hit in the face, revealed his head was almost split in two by the blow which cleaved his face. He is furious she could be out of prison in less than 5 years and has urged for her sentence to be doubled. Amato left Ben with his face held together by 4 titanium plates that he will have for the rest of his life. Oh my goodness. She was fueled by drugs as she took the 2-kilogram axe to the 7-Eleven in Enmore, Australia. Wow, it was in Australia. 1 hour earlier, she had posted on social media, one day I am going to kill a lot of people. She is furious after she had a bad Tinder date with a woman in the hours previous. Eek! Amati wrote on Facebook, humans are only able to destroy to hate, so that is what I shall do. She added, most people deserve to die. I hate people. CCTV shows her doing a lap of the shop before approaching Ben at the cash register. The two began talking before she then suddenly swung the axe at him, striking him across the face. Wow, man, dude. Ben said, I remember being struck, but I turned at the last minute. Otherwise, she would have chopped through my head straight through the front of my face. I think I must have seen it coming. Her aim was to kill people. It's pure luck no one was killed. It didn't register straight away. It took about 30 seconds. I fell to the ground. I was prone, bleeding profusely. He was left vomiting as the gaping hole in his face and nose left blood pouring down his throat. Horror movie right there. That's like a horror movie like that. Amati also struck the shop owner, Sharon Hacker, really, with the axe in her rampage. Ben said, she went there to kill. It's only pure luck that I'm alive and she's not remorseful. She's intelligent, calculating. She'll do her time easily and get paroled in mid-2021. It's played out perfectly for her, perhaps better than she expected. He has launched a petition on change.org, urging for her sentence to be increased to at least 10 years, which has already amassed 5,500 signatures. Wow, right? Craziness. Straight up horror movie. Remember last week we had the story about the girl that married her duvet, and that's one. And some people think these are publicity stunts, and maybe some of them are, for all I know. I don't know, but still, I know they're not all that way. I've been seeing this stuff for years. It's in a lot of my videos. People marrying bridges and marrying trees and you name it, man. This just goes to show you, like, marriage is, there's no respect for it anymore. Woman kisses the plane what she calls her boyfriend. All right, whatever. Michelle Kobke said it was love at first sight when she first laid eyes on the Boeing 737-800, feeling attracted to its wings, winglets, and thrusters. The 29-year-old said her family reacted pleasantly to the revelation she was dating an aircraft that can seat 175 people inside. Even though Schatz can't fit into her bedroom, she sleeps with him every night by cuddling up to a 1.6 meter model or one of its components. She first met Schatz at Berlin Tegel Airport, and the couple now plan to get married. The plane enthusiast described him as her, quote, first love, and said it's the most beautiful relationship. Michelle would originally date men, but said she felt no love until she met Schatz. She does, however, find the long-distance element of a relationship difficult as Schatz flies around the world. Rebuffing comments from critics, Michelle boasted she had never been so happy. And she added, when they get married, they're going to live together in a hangar, defending it as a special kind of love and it doesn't hurt anyone. Jeepers. Objectophilia. Michelle said the last time I was in a relationship with a man was in 2011, but there was no love there. Schatz is my first love. This is the most beautiful relationship you can imagine. Imagine being her last boyfriend before she met Schatz. She continued, my first flight was at the end of November 2013, and I became so in love with aeroplanes. I got so excited every time I looked at airplane pictures and videos. On March 11th, 2014, I was in Tegel Airport and visited the airplanes, and then came a 737-800 airplane which approached me, and I have been so in love with him since. There you go. There you have it, folks. There you have it. Michelle has plenty of pictures of her kissing Schatz or cuddling with his panels and components or a large model. She said, Schatz is so nice. He's nice, and I love his aerodynamics and his appearance, especially his wings and his support surface. I love it. I was first attracted to his wings, winglets, and thrusters. Every type of aircraft looks a bit different. My darling is the most updated version. My love is not easy because I only meet him if I fly with my 737-800. In hangar and taxiway is not possible to be with him, so we don't have much time together to enjoy each other's company. Objectophilia. Objectophilia. It's a good-looking plane. Seriously, I mean, don't get me wrong. As far as planes go, it's a good-looking plane, but gigantic circular object mysteriously appears in sky, leaving onlookers stunned. Check this video out. This is in Colombia. Oh, man, I've got a lot of great videos out of Colombia of strange footage in the skies. I did a few videos on this and some of these types of subjects, and I put those clips in there. But Colombia, there's always something going on in Colombia, it seems. Let's see what this one is, if it'll ever play. I'll make it a little bigger for you. Hold on. It's not a very long clip, but yeah, there's a lot happening in Colombia, I believe, as far as the supernatural and the paranormal goes. But let's check this out. This does look interesting. It's pretty cool. Don't know what it is, but it's pretty cool. All right. I like it. I like it. I don't know what it is, but I like it. It's weird. We'll come back to that one. Now that we saw that, I guess UFO or glowing anomaly in the sky, it made me think I want to go and watch this clip right here. This is very interesting. I don't know what this could be. Let's find the original footage. There we go. Watch original footage right there. This is from UFO OVNI 2012. And my biggest UFO Mania. Sorry, UFO Mania. The truth is out there. That's who this is. I like their channel. They always get some good footage. Some of it I'm not with, but a lot of times they get some really good footage. But it's that robo voice. I can't do the robo voice. People have said this in the sky. I just can't do it. I can't do it. People are confused by this thing they saw in the sky. I can't do it. I can't. I don't. The robo voice doesn't work for me. But this person always gets some really cool footage. I'll give them that. Anyway, let's look at this. It does look like a weird black square flying through the sky. So let me let this footage catch up and we shall watch the video. Here we go. I'll make it bigger. All the other clips have been running really smooth. That one news story clip was a little janky, but so this right here should be okay. But let's watch this. It's interesting. It's only a couple minutes. And it's a strange black square floating in the sky. Look at this. Black square floating in the sky. You don't see that every day. There you have it. Weird black square floating through the sky. The guy just said that's not a rectangle, it's a block, if that helps. But anyway, interesting. Interesting footage, I say. They put up another video. I'm going to go ahead and jump over to that now. Let's see. Wait. Is this it? I just saw this one today. So this is fresh for me too. Okay. So now to me, this can't be real. This just can't be real. This can't be real. And again, I just saw this earlier today. I think that he just uploaded this today. He or she. I really don't know. No, it's January 31st, so it's in the last couple days. But I don't know if this is a he or a she because they use the robot voice. But leaked footage, UN discussed UFO pyramid over the Pentagon. All right, so a few weeks ago, a video started making the rounds here on YouTube of what appeared to be a massive pyramid UFO floating over the Pentagon. I mean, I didn't buy it. I don't show y'all everything. I vet this stuff, pretty good. Sometimes we'll get some stinkers, but it's very rare. I vet this as I'm going throughout the news every day throughout the week. And when I see stuff I think is garbage, you know, or just an obvious fake, I'm not even going to play with it. And I thought this was a fake. The UN discuss a UFO pyramid. I thought this was a fake, the UFO pyramid over the Pentagon. Perhaps we can watch that one first. Let's see. We'll come back to this one. Let's do UFO over Pentagon. Pyramid. It's a pyramid as well on top of it all. Pyramid UFO. Oh, the Pentagon. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, here's one. It's from a month ago. It's from a month ago. There's just one example, but this one's made the rounds. I've seen several other people upload it. Check this out. December 19th, 2018. I mean, you see what I'm saying? This is running a little slow, but you see, plus, I don't know. This is looking weird the way they're filming it, or I don't know what this is. This clip's running a little janky. I mean, come on. Come on. All right, you saw it for a second. Let this stupid player catch up. It's been running a little. Really? Okay. This happened. Sure. Right. And no one's talking about it, except for people on YouTube. I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is, if this was real, this is some absolutely startling footage of this massive pyramid UFO over the Pentagon. And it's like spinning. Right? Am I wrong? I don't know. I just couldn't get with this one, man. Not at all. Whole thing. Eyeballs as peepers, or university may introduce whites only racism shop. Webster University, located outside St. Louis, is considering a segregated safe space for white students to talk about their racism and white privilege. Wow, that's going to be fun. The school's new chief diversity officer says that they may create a whites-only safe space for Caucasian students. In the segregated space, students would talk about their white privilege and work out their inner racism. That is great. I was just telling my mom the other day that I need a private space where I can go work out my inner racism. I need a place where I can be around other white people and we can work out our inner racism together. I'm kidding, folks. Relax. Chief Diversity, I'll be here all week. Tip your waitress, all right? Chief Diversity Officer Vincent Fluellen got the idea for the new program from the book Witnessing Whiteness, The Need to Talk About Race and How to Do It. Keep you focused on these, these divisive things, man. And it's a snake eating its own tail. There's never any solution. And the only solution to me on any of this stuff is Christ. And we know the world's not going to accept that anytime soon, right? The masses won't truly accept it. That's the only answer to this stuff. It's following the ways of Christ and what's written in the Word. And that's my belief. That's what I believe. I know you all don't believe that way. Thank you for still keeping an open mind and, checking out the shows and the videos. I hear from you. I know we're not all on the same page, and that's okay. We don't have to be. I wish I could twist your arm and make you all believe exactly the way I believe, but I can't do that. I can't individually come to each one of your homes and twist your arm until you believe what I believe. But if I could, anyway, safe space, good. Safe space for white kids to go work out their inner racism. Good times. Good times. This one right here is some really wild footage. Check this out. Not surprisingly, it comes from China. I need to do or finish sometime. I've got a video right now. It's called China Sucks. I don't want to just leave it called China Sucks, but it's a compilation video. And I do this. I got so many videos I'm always working on pieces of here and there. And then when they're ready, I put them out there. But that's one of them. But there's so much weirdness in China. It's a fascinating place. It's also terrifying. But check this out. Nightmare moment, man grabs random girl 6 years old and throws her 60 feet off a shopping floor balcony before he leaps himself. Okay. Craziness. Watch this. Don't worry, you don't see the impact or anything. You'll just see the act of. All right, here we go. That was the 6-year-old. Now here goes the guy. I'm hoping the story explains why he did this. It'd be nice to know. Whoa. You see that? That's a crazy shot. Look at that. Wow. Let's see if they explain why he did that. Let's see. The girl's mother said her daughter disappeared after heading to the loo by herself. It's the restroom. Authorities say that for you Americans, that's the bathroom. Authorities say the child was grabbed seemingly at random by the suspect, who later admitted to being under heavy financial pressure, quote unquote. Police are investigating the disturbing incident. So he's under heavy financial pressure, so he grabs the 6-year-old child and tosses her over the edge. That's where he landed. Wow, look at that. Like, busted up that table. Here he is. And that's it. They give us nothing else, guys. I'm sorry. I was hoping there would be... I want to know why he did this now. So I'll be following this one. Hopefully we get some more information on this. I'll put it up next week. Okay? That's interesting. Strange. Why did you do this? I was under heavy financial pressure. That just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Thousands of Muslims demand Nike recall offensive Air Max trainer with Allah written on the sole. This is pretty crazy. Have you seen this picture? I don't know the name. Seka Noreen was appalled when she spotted text on the bottom of the shoe and accused the sports brand of blasphemy. The illustrative wording appears to spell out the words Air Max in a joined-up font. However, Seka is not convinced and at the very least believes Nike have made a clumsy error, offending millions of Muslims in the process. In Muslim culture, showing the sole of your shoe is seen as the height of disrespect. The shoe is considered dirty because it touches the ground and is associated with the foot, the lowest part of your body. Seka, I hope I'm saying that right, launched a petition for Nike to recall their train with more than 4,800 signing it. Oh, here's a video. Okay, cool. I want to check this out. I think it shows it in here. Okay, check this out. I can see it. You see it? I can see it. Okay. Got it. We got it. And that's that. And that's that story. Weirdest items doctors have removed from people's bottoms, from toy car to salad tongs. A few examples of weird items that doctors have removed from people's bottoms over the years. The list of items discovered in the annals of medicine are featured in a new book, A Splendidly Smutty Dictionary of Sex. Okay. That doesn't even appeal to me. That's just me. I know. I'm probably some kind of a prude Amish, to some of you, but, so years and years of being addicted to pornography when I was younger, and not just younger, even throughout from adulthood. Like it took years to break that spell. It was bad. And my faith it's through Christ, it's my relationship with God and everything else. That's what helped me get through it. But that's one of the toughest things I ever had to kick, was this addiction to just pornography and, lustful type stuff, I know, TMI, right? TMI. Weird items removed from people's backsides. Speaking of TMI, here's a short list. Live ammunition, peanut butter jar, can of Lynx body spray, keys, salad tongs, pint glass, torch, vegetables, toy car, snooker ball. Who does this? Cola bottle, whisk, cassette tapes, sunglasses, light bulbs, Buzz Lightyear figure. I guess that's why he's there. Okay. Mobile phones, umbrella handle, and liquid cement. Okay. I think we get it. Who does this? Who does this kind of stuff? Who does that? Hey, you like my phone? Yeah, that's great. I'd like it even more if it was up my bottom. Who thinks like this? Who does this? This is really disgusting here, and it's one I'm watching closely. New York celebrates legalizing abortion until birth, all the way up till birth, by lighting One World Trade Center pink. Guys, you're in trouble. America's in trouble. I see stuff like this. Now, I like to kid around some, but I'm not kidding about this. I see judgment coming, when I see stuff like this. New York, January 23rd, 2019, Governor Andrew Cuomo directed that the One World Trade Center's spire be lit pink overnight on Tuesday to celebrate his signing of a law allowing abortions until birth in some cases, and letting non-doctors kill children, and letting non-doctors commit abortions. Guys, this is the serious stuff here. The law, the Reproductive Health Act, also erases the state's recognition of preborn babies older than 24 weeks as potential homicide victims. Cuomo called the bill a historic victory for New Yorkers and our progressive values. It was passed on the anniversary of Roe v. Wade, the 1973 Supreme Court decision that brought abortion on demand to every state. And the worship of Baal and Moloch continues. Intensifies. It intensifies. Get this. Judgment comes. Judgment is coming. Wow. Comet Ping Pong catches fire. Patrons suspect arson. Comet Ping Pong still in the news. Look at the symbolism right here. Look at the pentagrams up here. Well, they have two. It's the crescent moon and the star. So you've seen that with Islam. You've also seen it with Baphomet. The crescent moon and the star, right? Just thought I'd throw that out there, though, because that's kind of, ground zero for the Pizzagate thing that started just a few years ago, right? So there you have Baphomet with the crescent moons, right? And the stars. Right? You've seen this. You've seen this stuff. You guys know. You're a smart crew. This is a smart crew I'm running with. Japan rules transgender people must be sterilized before transition. The court acknowledged doubts were emerging over if the rule reflects social values, but said the law was constitutional. Four justices unanimously voted on Thursday to reject an appeal filed by a trans man who wants to change the gender on his official documents. He was trying to revoke the law, which states that people who want to change their gender in Japan must have no reproductive glands or reproductive glands that have permanently lost function. Wow. 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 That's intense. That's intense. Sterilizing. Wow. It's a YouTuber. What do we got here? Looks like we might have a clip of something. I'm not sure which one this is. Sometimes I'm just as surprised as you are. Okay, here we go. T-Ranny Rage. Let's check this out. This was interesting. More of the madness, you know? And this stuff is happening every week. That's the thing. You know, it's like you can't get around it. The stuff is just, it's all over the place. Anyway, so earlier we had the T-Ranny with the axe. Now you got this one here.
She was real rude with her black ass, and she called me and her. She supposed to be at work, and y'all going viral, honey, on Facebook. You too. That bitch went on there.
I need you to get out.
So, and you call me a sir? I'm not a sir. I'm a ma'am. I'm a sir. I'm a ma'am.
Get out.
I'm a ma'am.
You get him out?
I'm a ma'am. I'm a ma'am. You being rude. I'm a ma'am. I'm a ma'am. My ID say female. He's being rude. Know your pronouns. Know your pronouns. Know your pronouns. Know your pronouns. Know your pronouns, honey. Know your fucking pronouns. It's a world out here. It's a fucking world out here. Know your fucking pronouns. Stupid. Suck my dick. Like you said, man. Him. Suck my dick.
Please get out.
You'll be on Facebook.
It's just, you know, the madness is spreading. The madness is spreading. And not to have hatred towards these people either, man. I mean, heart goes out. I see them as lost. Completely lost. My thing is that real world style, I don't know how I could ever change that on someone. I don't know. I don't know how I can show them Christ. A lot of them already think they have him. That's the thing, you see. A lot of us. I'm always trying to keep myself in check. You should know this when it comes to my walk. Always trying to keep myself in check. Always. Especially given a platform like this and having people that'll listen. You know, I never want to be a stumbling block for anybody or lead anybody astray or anything. So I'm constantly trying to keep my own self in check. But I don't know how to do stuff like that. I don't know when I meet people in the real world that are like this or afflicted with other things. I don't know how to pull them out of that. I mean, these aren't my gifts, but they say there's the 9 manifestations of the Holy Spirit. So these are my gifts, and they're your gifts too, but they're dormant for most of us. How much of us aren't truly utilizing the power we have through Christ? We're probably going to have to start doing more of that as things continue on, as crazy as things are getting, you know? This world needs more healing. It needs to be healed. People need to be healed. Is this Bigfoot? What do you think? Let's take a look. Sasquatch spotted on a mountain in Utah, perhaps. From Now You Know 2.0. Let's watch some of this.
It shows a sizable creature lurking on the side of the mountain, and some suspect that the human-like figure.
Another robo voice. I do like Now You Know, but they do the robo voice.
Seriously, look how big it is.
In the video, Craig can be heard marveling at the massive size of the creature on the mountain out in the distance. There is one moment during the footage where the creature appears as if it's walking in a bipedal fashion. When asked by someone if it could be a human, Craig expressed skepticism about that possibility, and says how it is situated at a fairly distant point on the mountain, yet still stands out considerably, suggesting that the creature is quite large.
I don't think it is a human. I think it's a Sasquatch. Because look, he's on the mountain, way far back on the mountain. Look how huge he is. Okay.
Later on in the video, Craig drove down a nearby road to get a better look at the potential Bigfoot, and captured additional footage of what he says is the creature sitting on a rock. Although it's quite difficult to discern where it is in that portion of the video.
So now we drove way down the hill, and look how big that person still is, all the way up on that mountain. Way the hell up there. You can see them right there. Right there. He's sitting on a rock. He's huge. I mean, we are really far away right now. You can see the top of that mountain. It's humongous. It's that black thing right over that second peak of that house. Just standing there. He's huge.
I think that's pretty much it on that one, but that is pretty wild, huh? I mean, that's one thing, we've had on this show for a long time is lots of potential Sasquatch videos. There's a lot of those out there. And it makes me think of that story again with the kid, the 3-year-old. Was it truly a bear that came and sat with the child for a couple days and protected him, or could it have actually been a Sasquatch? I know some of you aren't into this Sasquatch and Bigfoot. I'm into the possibilities, and I like the stranger things. Stranger things have always shown me, ever since I was a child, the stranger things in the world have shown me there's a world that exists out beyond this one. That was my first kind of introduction into my understanding of God, and even caring about that and wanting to learn more. Sometimes that's how you can really lead people into these kinds of, into faith and Christ and God and everything else. Is through the paranormal and supernatural. Virginia governor under fire for comments on late-term abortion bill. This is happening in Virginia now, too. A new bill proposed in the Virginia legislature would loosen restrictions on abortions during the 3rd trimester of pregnancy and allow abortions during the 2nd trimester to take place outside hospitals. Virginia's governor, Democrat Ralph Northam, stirred controversy on Wednesday when he suggested how such a late-term procedure could occur. Under current Virginia law, abortions during the 3rd trimester require a determination by a doctor and 2 consulting physicians that continuing the pregnancy would likely result in the woman's death or substantially and irredeemably impair her mental or physical health. The bill proposed in the Virginia House of Delegates by Democrat Kathy Tran would require only 1 doctor to make the determination that the pregnancy threatens the woman's life or health. The proposed legislation would also eliminate the requirement that abortions during the 2nd trimester be performed in a state-licensed hospital. Republicans narrowly control the House of Delegates, so the bill is unlikely to pass anytime soon. Okay. Point is, it's the discussion, and it's just more of this death culture, right? More sacrifices to Baal, more sacrifices to Molech. To shame. Creates lasers that whisper in your ear. How do you whisper to someone across the room? With lasers, of course. MIT has developed a system using lasers to transmit audio signals directly to the ear, and no one else in the area can hear them. I mean, they're finally admitting this stuff. This is voice-to-skull technology. As a nice bonus, the laser won't burn your skin or eyes should you turn your head at the wrong moment. We've been talking about voice-to-skull for years. Years. And now they're admitting it, right? The laser system leverages what is known as the photoacoustic effect. That simply means that the absorption of light waves by a material produces sound waves. In this case, the light is absorbed by water molecules in the air, but the researchers learned to very carefully tune the laser to control where the sound appears. It's essentially a narrow cone of sound. Making sound with a laser is one thing, but creating specific tones or transmitting a message is much harder. The team evaluated two methods for doing this. First, there's the laser sweeping technique, which involves altering the wavelength of light to create different sounds. The traditional photoacoustic method uses varying power to encode a message. Both approaches have their strengths. The laser sweeping technique is the most impressive demonstration of the technology. It can transmit sound up to 2.5 meters away at 60 decibels. That's equivalent to background noise in a busy restaurant. The photoacoustic approach isn't as loud, so it won't work as far away. However, it can produce sound with much higher fidelity. Wow. There you go. You're not crazy. Maybe there really are voices in your head that aren't yours. Michael Jackson's paid a 9-year-old boy's family $1 million hush money after mock marriage ceremony. Shocking court documents claim the King of Pop, who died in 2009, also paid James Safechuck $1 million to keep quiet about faux marriage ceremony. A lawsuit filed on behalf of the accuser, James Safechuck, claims his father was given the hush money after the secret union at his California mansion. The 2015 civil action was filed by Safechuck and another alleged victim, Wade Robson, both of whom are taking part in the new documentary film Leaving Neverland. That is weird, even just that picture. Because how old's he right there, Michael Jackson? Probably at least, what, 30s? Maybe 40s? I don't know. Even if it's... who cares? He's holding hands with a little boy that isn't his child. He's not related to. Am I the weird one that thinks that's weird? I don't think so. For a grown man, just... blech, right? Blech. Anyway. Blech. So gross. It's weird. Weird. Human Ken doll Rodrigo Alves exclusive star undergoes controversial eye lift to look like a sexy cat after confirming he will perform at Eurovision opening bash. Another one to me that's very sad, this guy, because he's had tons of surgeries, like over 70 plastic surgeries. He wanted to be the Human Ken doll, and now he wants to look like a cat.
I'm very nervous, excited at the same time. Wish me luck. I really hope that after the surgery I'm gonna be able to breathe. Hope it's gonna be my very last surgery on my nose as well. So the aim is to breathe, obviously, and have a good looking nose too. Well, doctor, how are you today, Hubi? And that's Dr. Irani, who's gonna be working on my nose today. I'm very nervous, but excited at the same time. Thank you, doctor. Very tough decision to choose the silicone implant. So, in case we are bringing a different shape as well to surgery.
My thing is that where are the people that really love and care for this guy in his life that are telling him no? Right? He needs somebody that really loves and cares for him just to say stop. And to try to figure out what's really going on. This is obviously something internal, right? Manifesting through the physical. You know, this is a very disturbing behavior. I'm no psychologist or psychiatrist, but this isn't right. That's a human to me that's hurting. Like, there's got to be a lot of pain in there, man, for this guy to have been going to these lengths. You know, like Let's find out what's happening on the inside there. Just more of this stuff, man. California may teach kindergartners there are 15 genders. Right? We get it. We see what they're trying to do. Children's YouTube channel lets children meet someone who's had an abortion. The Shout Your Abortion movement has been picking up steam once again, and gone are the days when pro-choice advocates assured the American public that abortion would only ever be legal, safe, and rare. Now it's so commonplace, we've got to make sure kids get started young, learning all the important pro-abort talking points. So the founder of the Shout Your Abortion movement, Amelia Bono, recently appeared on the children's YouTube channel Hi-Ho to brag to kids about her abortion and make sure they'd be good and ready to regurgitate all the best pro-abortion talking points. Wow. Speaks for itself. We can just kind of push right through these. Look at this. New Canadian dollar will honor LGBT rights. We see where this is moving, right? This is your beast system fully revealed here, fully manifested, because this will be a large part of it. New York unveils non-binary option on birth certificates. And we end with mysterious boom heard in 4 Kentucky counties. So the mysterious booms return. Let's check this out.
Yeah, 100% sure I know what happened. I have no idea where it came from. That is the mystery. And yes, I definitely would like to know what it was.
It's the conversation of the county.
It was so loud and so unexpected that I just kind of like jumped.
Last night, Jackson County 911 received several reports of an earth-shaking sound.
A couple people called in and saying they'd heard this loud boom in the county, and of course we immediately went to checking on that. We checked all over the area, and we never found anything.
Devonna Heisel lives in the northern part of the county. She says the mysterious boom shook the foundation of her house and scared a few of her neighbors.
We've had it to shake the house before, but not so much that we even have a little dog that jumped. And that never happened before.
So this isn't the only time folks have heard a loud boom in this area. We went to the Jackson County 911 Facebook page. Look at some of these comments. Reread. This is the second time. The first boom was last Friday, I think. Look just below her comment. Carla, it felt like the ground shook along with the boom. Check this one out. Manuela, it could be transformers blowing up. And then Clyde, he said, I heard it too. I live in eastern Jackson County. I thought the neighbor's house might have blown up. Whatever this loud boom is, it certainly has the town talking.
Yeah, there's no reports of damage. Nobody seems to know what it was. So it's kind of like very puzzling.
I don't know. It could be Ghostbusters. I don't know. I have no clue what this is.
The mystery.
He's my favorite. I don't know. Could be Ghostbusters for all I know. I don't know. He's my favorite. Anyway, that actually concludes. Looks like that concludes my stories for this evening. So let me jump over here to the chat room, say hi real quick. Hey guys, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Much appreciated. There we go. Guys, hey, thank you once again, man. That looks like it pretty much concludes our stories. So I want to say, first and foremost, thank you so much to the mods. Thanks for being here tonight. Thanks for doing such a good job. I appreciate you. Thanks for my Patreon friends, also for PayPal supporters as well. I'll leave links below if you're interested in that. I don't even monetize these shows. I still monetize videos, but not these shows, just because they always get clipped with music or copyright from audio or video or whatever it is. But anyway, so if you want to support the work, I'll leave links below. Thank you for that as well. And look, man, I've got, like I said, a new few videos coming out sooner. I've got that one about the masked singer I'll be doing here probably tomorrow. I will do a show, man. Like hopefully in the next couple days, we'll just do a hangout. And if you guys are here right now and you've never been a part of the hangout and the Q&A, please try to make it. They're a lot of fun, and I'm completely transparent. You can ask me anything, okay? And I always answer you guys. So I basically just go right through the chat, and we talk about whatever subjects y'all bring up. And if you have questions, you can ask them, and I'll answer them right there. And I need to do these from time to time because the channel's still growing. And again, thank you for that. And I know new people are showing up all the time, and you don't know the history of my work or whatever, and a lot of you have a lot of questions, even about me and stuff. So I'll be doing one of those in the next few days. I'll post it up here on YouTube. You guys will see it, so you'll know. And oh yeah, I know, man. Chubbs was totally out of it tonight. What can I say? He totally passed out. He's being a good boy. He didn't get in any trouble. So, hey, maybe next time, but just one of the rare occasions he's just passed out, so that's kind of cool. But, anyway, I'll tell him y'all said hi and you were looking for him. Much love to you, though, man, for real. God bless y'all. Take care, and I'll talk to you a little later.